today we are in a new location. We are at the studio because I am going to be taking professional headshots for myself, for professional use, for creative use, for personal branding, for everything. I started this shoot like I would do with any other project I'm working on, is with a mood board. So I was going for two things. First, a more professional type of headshot that I could use for LinkedIn and other career related materials, but I also wanted some portraits of myself that were more creative that I could use for my portfolio and for other materials. So this is kind of the mood that we were going for. You're going to see by the end of the video that the creative portraits I ended up taking looked so different from what I initially planned, but that's the fun part of doing stuff like this, is that it can go any direction. The studio that I used had a lot of great natural lighting, so I just opted to use that with no artificial lighting. Unfortunately, it was early during the day, so the lighting was fluctuating quite a bit. I used my Fujifilm X-T5 with my 35mm lens. For ISO, I used 400. Shutter speed was at 1/125, which in the future I would bump up a little bit just so that the photos are exposed a bit better, with an aperture of 2.8. To take the photos of myself, I used the self-timer on my camera, which required a bit of getting up here and there. But I also use the Fuji Cam remote on my phone, which is an app that helps you control your camera through your phone. The app was lagging a little bit, so I would recommend using an actual camera remote or just using the self-timer on your camera. I had to switch gears into the second outfit, which would be for the more stylistic creative portraits, but the gag is I literally only had 5 minutes left of the studio time, which was fully booked, so a lot of me running around trying to find angles and make the best of this time that I had left. But in the wise words of Mariah Carey, honey,
I'll do the best I can with what I got. Oh!
So fast forward, I'm back home and I'm like, you know what? Let's just finish this off at home. So I ended up changing into something more cozy. I changed my hair as well to make it more quote unquote playful. I just found some corner in my apartment, mind you, the smallest corner, and put up some black material that I could use just to create some dimension, some depth. I actually ended up shooting this in black and white just because I tried it out and I liked how it looked, and still used natural lighting, but I bumped the ISO up a little bit and the shutter speed as well. At this point of the day, I was like, you know what? It's time to wrap this up. Yeah. I uploaded the photos and started looking at them just to see what was looking good, and of course, as usual, I took way too many photos. I shortlist the photos and then I usually even cut that list a little bit more just because, again, I do take a lot of photos, and then I hop on over to Adobe Lightroom, which is where I do a lot of my editing. For my portraits, I like to go for a very subtle edit, just making sure skin tone is good, contrast, color, saturation. So I usually focus a lot on just bringing out the brightness and the colors of the photos. As I mentioned, this was a little bit underexposed, so I spent a bit of time just changing some colors here and there and the brightness just to kind of show my skin color a bit more. My favorite thing about Adobe Lightroom is that if I'm happy with the edits of an image, I can just copy it and paste it directly onto another image that has similar settings and everything looks great. The second set of photos I was editing was the one where I had to rush for, and for this one I was going for a more film type of look, so I was a lot more experimental with this edit compared to the professional headshots. Once I'm done editing, I'll export the photos and I'll just kind of look through them again, do a bit of resizing to see what works best. I really love how these black and white photos in particular came out. I was playing around with different arrangements on my desktop, which I ended up making collage type of edits for the more creative portraits that I was working on. So what I did is just put them together on Photoshop and then added some layers just to add some texture to it. I think especially with black and white photos, I always love when it has a bit more of that grunge textured feeling. So that was the edit that I ended up going for. I really enjoyed this portrait session, aside from running around like a headless chicken, but it was definitely something long overdue. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you took something from it. Don't forget to like the video and to comment, subscribe to the channel of course, and hit the notification bell so you can see any new videos that I post. I've also put the final photos towards the end of this video, inclusive of me actually updating my photography portfolio. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.